which we don't pay no attention, man. The Black Plague, historically, all these big bad diseases, man, come from zoonotics.
No, I mean, I've looked into that since you've talked about it.
Right.
Just looking
Scary,
historically, but
right.
not just historically, but current day. When you hear of new strains of this or things coming up,
it's still real.
It's the animal kingdom. I mean, we are in that kingdom, but I mean, it's amazing how do you stay on top of all that? By the way, it's the Mike in the Mountain. I'm Brian Gary and
Scott Cisco.
But how do you stay on top of all that stuff?
Well, the message we got to send to folks is zoonotics is real. I don't like scaring anybody. I make sure and try to educate them on zoonotics and wildlife and stuff like that.
And zoonotics, by the way, is what animal-born diseases, right? Wildlife diseases.
Wildlife diseases.
Yeah.
So I try to educate them on it. I don't want to scare them on it, especially if I start saying, well, historically, you look at all the things that we've had in the past and, it come from animals. We are a part. See, humans don't want to realize that we're animal related.
I have no doubts about it.
Right.
Yeah, I've lived with me.
Yeah, and I do carry a lot of animal instincts. I'm a little different.
Yeah, no, just a skosh. Just a skosh.
Just un poquito. But no, people got to understand, man. Stay in your lane, stay in your zone. When it comes to wildlife, man, don't mess with it.
Well, yeah, okay, we're talking zoonotics and exposure and all that. Right now, okay, we're just into spring. Spring has sprung. Now, as there's more activity, it's the breeding season. We've been talking about this, for weeks, and we'll continue to. But does that bring a heightened possibility then of encounters that could have this come into play?
Absolutely. Let's think about wintertime. Everything's settled down, chillaxed. Just like with us, in the wintertime, they said the COVID was going to be suppressed because it's not really a cold disease. Am I right? Is that what they were saying? Because the cold, it would suppress it? Or was it the heat on
It was the
COVID?
heat. It was the heat was supposed to do it, yeah.
Okay, so the heat. So every disease is different, but when you start getting spring and breeding and all that stuff, let's remember, raccoons ain't out to play soccer or football or there's three things in every wildlife's mind at all times: food, water, shelter. And right now the breeding season is coming, and they're going to be intertwined and intermingling and fighting with one another, setting up their territories. So these animals are coming into contact with each other. Diseases, distemper, we're going to see distemper and rabies back on the rise again this year with the raccoons and skunks like we do every year. So again, just don't be afraid. I'm not trying to scare you.
No, just make you aware.
Keep your distance. Keep your distance and call a professional.
It's interesting because springtime rolls around, and a lot of people start thinking about baseball and baseball season, and there's training camp, and everyone getting into game shape for the season. It's interesting watching you, as somebody who grew up with sports and all these things, and this is all new to me. Your world
sports.
is new, but there's so much similarity in watching an athlete get ready for an upcoming season as it has been watching you mentally and physically prepare for the spring season.
Right.
Because this really is, it's like game time. It has gone from the off season to you are. I mean, I know physically and mentally have tried to get yourself ready for this time of year, haven't you?
Oh, and I have to, whether I want to or not.
Yeah.
Every year it tends to get a little more.
It's not as easy as the year before.
It's not easy as last year. But no, I still enjoy going down I-25 and seeing all the soccer moms out there off I-25. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's all the soccer moms and caught up in their soccer world and their soccer kids and I'm in a different realm.
Yes, you are.
I'm what's slithering in your backyard, what's getting into your attic. Attics, it's springtime, man. Pay attention to your house. Do a walk around. Pay attention to your house. Pay attention to your house. I can't say that enough, man. Walk around your house. Look it up and down. Even if you don't know what you're looking at, just get used to looking at your house because springtime, raccoons, squirrels, they love attics. They love your roof. And if you got them, and even if Oh, well, I hear them walk across my roof. I had a lady call me up. They walk across her roof. You need to stop that. You need to. Well, they're not hurting anything. Well, why'd you call me? Well, what do you want me to do? Yeah, they're getting up there, and you need to not let them up there. Yeah, everything's about to be a hot mess in the critter world, man. And it is about to be game on, baby, and I got to be ready.
You kind of dig it. Now,
I am ready.
One species I'm curious about, because the last I was really getting to go out with you, and we were out, seeing the public and going on calls, it was where it was kind of the end of bat season. And the bats were getting into their fall winter state.
Right.
Now, as spring comes around, you always hear, bears ending their hibernation and that type of thing. What is this the time of year, or is it later in the year when you start to see bats emerge and starting making appearances? Or does it vary on what the weather's going to be like?
Yeah.
It does.
We can give a rough guesstimate, March, April. But I mean, anywhere in there when them buggers did. I mean, again, they know the weather before we do. They know the weather.
That's why you watch the animals to tell you more so than a meteorologist.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's hard telling when they're going to come back. They could be here now. They could be here tomorrow. But again, my connections with the health department and things like that, and the biologists, I've got a lot of connections out there that I'm keeping track of what they're seeing also, as they are with me. We're working together in this loop to, we haven't seen anything yet. We found our first bat. Game on. They're fixing to all be pouring right back in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, as you talk about, your jobs and all those kind of things, I was actually thinking about this on the drive over here. Do you remember the very, very first critter job you went on?
I do.
Do you really?
I do, man. I sure do.
What was it? Was it the beginning of Critter Getter, or was this pre-Critter Getter?
Oh no, this was
the very.
So yeah, the very first. I mean, I was in the swamps.
Okay, yeah,
as a kid.
But as a professional.
As the job, yeah. A gentleman called me out of Greeley, and he had a squirrel behind his furnace in his trailer. So middle of the night, called me, and at the time, man, I was doing it for a tax write-off, man. This was supposed to be fun,
this was just kind of a fun little thing you were going to do.
Yeah, so this guy called me, he goes, what would you charge to come get? I said, $25. $25.
$25. I mean, come on. You can't even get 2 burgers for that. That's
middle of the night, I drive to Greeley, and I'm talking to this guy. He's a military guy, and he's all suited up, getting ready to leave or something. I don't know what he was doing that time in the morning, but he was all in his get up, and man, it was a nightmare. It was this squirrel head. There was a metal sheet down behind the furnace, and you know how trailer houses are, man. This furnace was I think they put the furnace and then built around the furnace. Yeah. But this poor squirrel had been in there for days. Come to find out, when I did finally get him out, man, he literally croaked in my hands, man.
Did he really?
Dude had been back there fighting, trying to get up sheet metal, jumping and scratching, trying to get up sheet metal, and he'd come down through the roof. And yeah, it was a mess. But yeah, it was a squirrel.
Squirrel was the very first one.
$25 squirrel. And I went home and I was so proud.
I was wondering, what was the feeling like afterwards?
I got home and I was like, $25 saved a dead squirrel.
And so it began.
And then
you wanted more of that?
Well, yeah, and then the next one, I remember even the second one. After that, it gets real blurry because it just went crazy. Second one, a lady called me up. And this is how I knew I had a niche, right?
Okay.
She had a woodpecker box on her house, and then a woodpecker hole in her house, and the woodpecker had a nest in her house. So I studied this and thought this, and I said, I don't understand what happened here. And she goes, well, we knew the woodpecker's in there, so we put a woodpecker box up next to his hole in hopes that it would go inside the box. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's how any of that works, but I love the way you think. And that's when I started thinking, people don't have a clue about critters.
We don't.
No. So cool part, man.
Thank God for you, because that gives you.
Yeah. But I thought I was a professional. I'm thinking this over. I'm thinking, how am I going to get that nest of federally protected birds? Might I add, don't mess with woodpeckers. How am I going to get that nest out of there and get it into that box? So I'm thinking and thinking. I said, ma'am, I need to go into your bedroom. She goes, okay. Well, she took me in there, and I'm inside.
She fell
there.
for that?
She did. I don't have much problem with that. I've never seen that as an issue. So there I was with my stethoscope. Yeah. And I told her, trust me, I'm a doctor.
That's how I got in this mess. No. Flashbacks, dude.
No, but for real, I did. I had a stethoscope. And I went in there for real.
This is for real?
This is for real. Because I wanted to feel like I was somebody.
I got you.
And I set up this ladder, and I put it on, and I start listening to the wall. And I'm listening. I'm going up and down. I'm like, I held my finger. I said, you got a pencil? And she gave me a pencil. I put a little X. And she goes, what is that? And I said, well, that's where the babies are. She goes, there's no way. How do you know from outside where that hole was, and you are now telling me that in here in my bedroom wall, right there, that's where the babies are? I'm like, yeah. She goes, what are you going to do? I said, well, I got to cut a hole in the sheetrock to pull out that nest of babies, take it out, put it in the woodpecker box, and move the woodpecker box over the hole. I did.
Did you really?
She thought I was a god, and then so did I.
And so did you.
And I charged her, and I felt bad, but I charged her $50.
Oh, wow. Robbed her.
Went all out.
Yeah.
Went all out. Things have changed.
I would say so if you would have kept going.
Insurance itself. Yeah. Not cool.
A great start. I've always wondered how it began. I know you said you kind of did this tax write-off thing, or just some, this little hobby kind of thing.
It was
Never
to
thought
pay
it would
for
turn
my
into
hunting and trapping habits.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
To pay for your tags
and
each year?
Jackie hook, line, and sinker. She's like, man, we spend a lot of money on hunting and fishing and trapping, and if we could write it all off, wow.
What did she say when you said, I think there's something in nuisance wildlife?
I had to work it because, listen, I had a buddy of mine over spraying the house for bugs because I don't do bugs.
No, you don't do bugs. I'm fully aware.
And he's walking through the house and he's looking at all my stuff in the house. He goes, dude, did you kill all this stuff? I said, no, I didn't kill anything. I harvested and ate everything you see in this house. He goes, why aren't you doing this for a living? And I said, well, I mean, I used to be with my uncle when he guided, and there's between politics and landowner and money, there's nothing in it anymore. Man, it's gotten too hard. He said, no, I'm talking about nuisance wildlife. And I said, what the is nuisance wildlife? I'd never heard of that before in my life. Never. And he goes, Scott, I get probably 40 to 80 calls a year on raccoons and squirrels. And he goes, I'm not messing with that stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me people pay you money to get rid of raccoons and squirrels? And he says, oh, yeah, it's big time. I was like, this sounds like a write-off.
Jackie!
Yeah.
I've got an
so
idea.
I had to wait. I had to work it with, anybody that has a wife for a long period of time knows.
Knows, yes.
Yeah. And so one day I felt the time was right, and I dropped it on her. And she goes, well, I like the sound of a tax write-off. She goes, what are we going to call it? Critter Getter? I said, sure. Critter
That's
Getter.
how it was named?
That's how it began.
Really?
Critter Getter of Northern Colorado, LLC.
NoCoCG.com. There it is.
There it is. And the rest is history.
It is, and it's still being written. That's awesome.
Until I go out in glory like my brother Steve Irwin, man. God rest your soul, brother. What a way to go. That is my way. That is the way I will go in the glory of what I do, man. Live by the sword, die by the sword. I just hope it ain't a spider that takes me out.
That would be so ironic.
Be a damn redback spider.
What's going to be funny is it's going to be a spider that's going to scare you. You're going to run out the door and will run right into a truck or something.
Fall over, have a heart attack. Yeah.
It'll be something along the glory.
Because they say...
For the glory.
For the glory. They say if you ever get bit by a redback spider...
Yeah,
you're gonna die.
That really?
And I'm out.
All right, Understandable.
I just hope it's something big, gnarly, and burly, and
No, it won't be.
No, it'll be a
no,
spider.
absolutely not.
God.
That's one of my favorite things hanging around with Scott is not just the critter stories, all that, but you get to see him interact with people and the impression he leaves them with is so cool, because you've always lived kind of the way I do, that I want to, when I encounter somebody, I want to leave them more lifted than they were when they met me.
Whether I am or not.
It's just, it's what I always want to do.
Yeah.
It's try to bring, just joy, happiness, understanding, and listening, which seem like such common traits, but are so rare. And they're so rare that they really stand out. Just the things that we feel we should all do, that little bit of kindness and caring just stands out and is so amplified these days because it's not heard so much. One of my favorite examples of this was when my wife and I took a trip to San Diego a couple years ago for our anniversary. I went into the hotel to check in, and I'm wearing a Happiness Warrior t-shirt. That's my motivational speaking thing, the Brian Gary Happiness Warrior. And I went in, and the gal who was checking us in looks at me and looks at my shirt, and there were people in line. She's just flustered,
Was this in Cali?
Yeah, in San Diego. And she looks up at my shirt, and she goes, "What the hell is that?" Happiness Warrior. I said, "That's me. I'm a Happiness Warrior." I said, I try to make, I go and try to teach people how to be happy and find the joy in life. She looked up at me and said, "I frickin' love you." She said,
people are looking for it.
Exactly. And she said, "That is so refreshing." She said, "You know what? It's usually, $25 a night to have your car parked here."
Yeah.
She said, "But I'm going to give you free parking for the nights that you're here."
I'm telling you.
And it was just because I did something that seemed so normal, stood out so immensely, right? So then we go to the airport to fly home. And I had just retired from radio.
Right.
And this was my wife's first trip, and me and my wife's first trip to really go and be together as a couple with
like
all
in
those
30
strings.
years.
Yeah, ever.
Right.
So I go into the airport, and I go up to the guy. I told Kyle, I said, "I'm going to go see if I can just upgrade our seats. It's the anniversary. Let's just." So I go up to the guy, and I said, I said, "How you doing? I just, recently retired from radio, and I'm finally getting my wife out on our first trip together for our anniversary. And is there any way, do you have anything to move up to get us in a better class?" And he said, "Well, I can move you like a row up for another $40, but he said, that's really, he said, "Do you really want to spend it?" He said, "It's no different." And I said, "Nah, that's all right." And then he said, "Wait a minute." He said, "I got something up here." He said, "I tell you what," he said, "since it's your anniversary and all that," he said, "I'm going to bump you up. I got something up in this, this other class." So he bumps me up, and he said, "And wait a minute. Before you go, you said you just retired from radio?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Take this and say, 'Good morning, San Diego.'"
No way.
And he hands me to the PA to the whole airport. And I get on it, and I grab it, and I go, "Good morning, San Diego." And he goes, "That was so damn cool, bro." He said, "That was awesome." My wife's sitting at the seat just shaking her head going, "What the hell has he done now?"
Now he's on the mic.
I said, "Honey, I got us moved up, man." That was it. But it felt so cool to get on there and do it. But something I'd read in the news this morning, or I was watching the news this morning, made me think of that because it was a San Diego story. When we went there, we had gone to the San Diego Zoo. Oh. Did you see what that frickin' idiot did at the San Diego Zoo over the weekend?
No.
James, you saw this, didn't you?
Does that involve the elephant?
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think he was a 25-year-old guy, a father of, I want to say a 2-year-old?
2-year-old, yep.
2-year-old. Thought it would be great to take the 2-year-old inside the elephant enclosure, climbed over a fence and under a fence to bring the 2-year-old in there, standing there with its back to the elephant, so that somebody on the other side could get a photo op and take a picture of them inside. He's holding this baby when the elephant charges from behind.
Get out.
He barely gets out. In fact, I think he dropped the baby on the ground and then had to go back in, grab it, and reach it and pull it out. Is that right, James?
Something like that. He did drop the child at one point in time in a panic because the elephant was charging for sure. It was nutty. All for just a quick photo op for the kid to have some memorabilia later in life kind of thing. And I'm like, the kid's 2-year-old. Kid's not going to remember what the hell it had in the morning.
Oh, it's going to remember the it's
going to remember what a dumbass my dad was for putting me in there.
And I look at that as Darwinism. I mean, survival of the fittest.
That's when you look in and get the kid out and then cheer for the elephant.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's where I was at. You know?
Come on, people.
I mean, did we not just have a gorilla shot because of this whole situation? Almost similar, where the kid just fell into the whole zoo thing. Hombre? Yeah, Hombre, the gorilla. That was shot a few years ago.
No, you're right. You're right. I had actually forgotten about that.
Did we not learn our lesson from that whole prospect as well, too?
No, we don't learn lessons like that.
We're dealing with people.
Two-legged
wildlife.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, loco en la cabeza.
I just find it weird though that they charged the father as with a I think it's a misdemeanor of child suspicion endangerment.
Yeah, and
I'm like,
reckless something or something.
Right, I'm like, suspicion. You've got it on tape, dude.
How more verified do you need to be? But yeah, if I had ever wished for an ivory tusk to go through the backside of a human, it was right then.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you just shake your head at humanity. You do.
I do. I can't help them.
Well, I got it. Since we were just visiting with James, I got to ask you, James, because I saw a post you put up over the weekend. You being you're into the comic superhero. We talked about Marvel last time with WandaVision and so forth.
Yeah.
I had seen that on HBO Plus they had come out with a new version of Justice League, which was the extended 4-hour director's cut. And I had seen your posts that you were settling in for it. I didn't see your verdict on it, but what did you think?
Oh, the verdict came. It came at 12 o'clock at night.
Oh, it did? Okay, that's why I missed it. All right. Was this just last night, James?
Yeah, it was just last night. It's the Zach Snyder cut, and basically, to get the general idea of why this is two separate Justice Leagues, when Zach Snyder did the original Justice League, he cut in the middle of the project and bounced. Unfortunately, his daughter ended up taking her own life during the production. So he had to step away from the project.
Oh, wow.
But because of that, the Marvel guy, Joss Whedon, came in to finish the project for him in his stead. Unfortunately, the project is mixed reviews of how that movie came out in the movie theaters.
Really?
But people believe that there was a Zack Snyder cut that was yet to be released that had a bunch of films still left over that they wanted to see the true story of what Zack had imagined for the whole storyline. Well, this was this project. It was a 4-hour movie about what he wanted his vision to be about the DC universe and how that came to be and all that stuff. So this is what he came out and it turned out to be 4 hours. And let me tell you,
was it good?
Oh, dude, it was the lick.
No
dude.
way.
Like,
really?
Yeah, it starts off a little slow, but it's just because it's the starter, the filler, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but it pays off big, dude.
No way,
dude. Marvel can learn a thing or two from this movie alone.
No kidding.
It's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. It's not the perfect
right.
movie. It still has its issues, CGI and all that stuff. But compared to the original Justice League movie that came out, dude, it's night and day. It's a whole new movie. It's a night and day experience.
And that's what I had read in a review, that it was amazing how it took basically the same movie, but re-editing, twisting, adding things completely changed the story.
Yeah, because when you go back to the old movie or the theatrical released one, dude, you wondering why they put it the way they put it together, because it's just they just pasted things together just to hope to get a quick scene or a quick jab at something, a quick liner or something along those lines, and the baddie, if you will, much more beefier in this one. Like he looks like a threat, and he doesn't look like some crazy mama issues kind of guy. And you'll know what I'm saying if you watch the movies, that he doesn't have mama issues in this Zack Snyder cut, dude. He's on a mission. He's got a boss. His boss wants to come into town, and he's prepping the area for the whole process. And then the character development, man, for each character, it's brilliant. But the good thing about this, though, it's 4 hours long. He actually broke the movie into 7 parts. So if you need breaks in between time, it literally says part 1, part 2, part 3.
Oh, wow.
See, now that is brilliant, because what you're finding with people, if you tell people, I've got a 4-hour movie, they will not watch it. But if you say, I've got an 8-part miniseries
Right.
on Netflix, people will binge watch it and
Right,
sit and watch
right.
it from start to finish. But there's something about...
Yeah, because I was always confused about people's like, this movie's just too long. I'm like, dude, you just binge watched The Mandalorian.
Exactly.
That's an
No,
8-episode
seriously.
process. Like, yeah, so no, the movie's definitely broken down into parts. And that third act with the action scene, dude, it paid off. Me and Amber and my wife were just sitting there just jaw to the ground of just how well they did the fighting scene and just brought everything together as it should have. I mean, it's the Zack Snyder cut, what he imagined. And the way he sets this up, it was definitely meant to be a multi-series project.
So there's more to come.
No, that's up for debate.
Okay.
This is like a one-time deal. Like, I don't know how Zach made this happen with the HBO gods or whatever to make this happen.
Right.
As far as I'm aware, there is no continuation after this. This was just a pure fan service to show the people that there was a Zack Snyder cut that never got released. Now it's released, and the people will write that, Zack Snyder had a different vision compared to what Joss Whedon did to that project. Because again, when Joss Whedon did, he did well for what he had. He really did, but his thought process was not on point to where Zack had his vision.
I gotta watch it.
To make the
Well,
movie.
I was just curious. I'm not... James is much more into that world than I know, but I know the popularity of it, and I like watching some, but I don't know this whole story to where I really get, all the different things and could appreciate the things that he can, but I know there's so many people who do, so I just wanted to check on that because I know there's a lot of people who are digging that.
He gets it like deep.
No, he does. That's why I like to hear him talk.
Yeah, I do too. Whereas me, I'm real shallow, like, give me Deadpool. Deadpool's I'm sure he's my brother. I'm sure Deadpool is my brother, man.
See, now I'll watch Justice League and go, wow, yeah, Wonder Woman looked great in that.
See, there you go.
And that would be my review to you. And you go, was it worth what? Yeah.
And then I'd be like, dude, I watched Deadpool. He's my brother. I'm sure of it.
I know he is.
I'm sure he's my brother.
I'm pretty dang sure of it as well. There's no doubt. I'm spending a little time trying to... the one thing I watched that I know neither of you watched at all, so this will be my turn to talk.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. This was the NCAA basketball tournament.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm a sports freak, so I love watching this.
March Madness?
Yeah, March Madness has been going, and it has been exciting as hell because there have been more upsets than I have seen in any tournament I've ever watched in all my years.
Now, what's that mean in a basketball game?
It means that teams who aren't supposed to win and were going to get killed beat off the Goliaths. You'll see it because they'll break down into 4 regions and they're seeded 1 through 16.
Okay.
And this year, a 15-seeded team had knocked off the number 1 seed in their conference, which you just don't see. These kind of things have been happening in this. So it makes it exciting for a sports fan to watch the buzzer beater. I sat and watched it all weekend with my dad. I'm telling you, my parents were here for the weekend, and I need this week to dry out.
You and Dad polished it off, right?
Oh, see, me and Dad get the blame for stuff, but it's Mom.
Yeah, totally Mom.
It's totally Mom.
Oh, yeah, it's always been Mom.
You see her looking at the clock going, well, it's 1:30. I should be having wine. That's the way it starts.
I got a video with your mom with a glass of wine.
She said,
I loved it, man. I was like, right on.
I said, you got to send a message to Scott. I said,
right on.
And she films that she was disappointed you didn't show.
Yeah,
and then Dad gets on and says, I know why you didn't show.
Yeah.
And then Scott calls me the next day and said, I was a little afraid when I got those videos because it looks like Dad's been working out.
Yeah, Dad's been working out. Yeah, that was a little awkward.
He's been hearing the podcast. He's heard how you've been talking about my mama.
Well, Dad. Love you, Dad.
Yep.
Here's to you, Dad.
Okay, that's why you chickened out and didn't come by the next day either.
Well, no, I got absorbed with a bunch of family too.
You had the invasion too.
Oh yeah.
Is it that it's just springtime? They all come out. Is that what it is?
No, maybe, man. They wasn't there for breeding season.
I would hope not. I would hope not.
I know. Get out! It's springtime. I need my time.
Relatives visit, go to Scott's, nothing but sheets hanging everywhere, getting
Go to your
clean,
cubicle.
trying. Yeah, family
man.
fun.
Yeah, get your penicillin shots on the way out.
Every time the folks visit, I end up, we talk about old stories that I got away with when I'm a kid, and it pisses Mom off because she said, look, I didn't know until now. I don't want to know.
Right.
All right? Just keep it to yourself. I don't want to know. And, Kyla and I are bringing up all these high school memories, and then we started thinking about the old, like I could go back to my growing uptown of Mandan, North Dakota, and pick out like the 2 or 3 party makeout spots.
Really?
That
Really?
everyone went to. There was a place called the Car Bodies that you always went down to. The Gravel Pit was another one where we partied.
Yep.
And we had this place, we called it Around the World. And it was just this route on back dirt country roads that would take you where nobody really traveled.
Right.
We had a landmark called Piss Bridge. Because it was like halfway along the route, and everyone stopped on that bridge to take a
Now,
leak.
all this was prior to electronics.
Oh, yes,
I mean,
most
that's back
definitely.
when you had. I respect that, man. I remember that kind of stuff, dude.
Did you?
That is cool.
Do you know where you grew up? Can you remember if you went back there? Could you go right to the makeout or party spot?
Oh yeah, dude. It was 7 cypress stumps in. 2 cypress trees over, right under the freaking wild pear tree.
That was what.
Wild pear tree. Yeah,
A lot of stuff
you had to
happened
make
there.
sure you get the gators out, but other than that, you were cherry.
That was good. Man, but the few times, I bet probably only like twice in all the years we partied there, you'd see the cops show up.
Right.
And
'Cause
that
they
just.
knew. That was back in the day. They knew.
Oh, of course they did.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And it's like, well, look, as long as I know they're all down there.
Right.
All right.
Yep. You know what they're doing.
That's it.
Knucklehead
We'll
kids.
park right out here on the highway.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure they spend the night.
Right. So, did you have any awkward encounters with cops knocking on the glass, anything like that? Anything
when I
bad?
was
when you were little, yeah. Necking, spooning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, but what was even more terrifying was it was about 2:30 in the morning.
Right.
Parked, knock on the window. It's like, oh crap, cops. Worse, Dad.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah.
Dad. Her dad?
My dad.
Oh, your dad.
Yeah. Her dad was working. He was he was a fireman, and he'd get called on the night shift.
Okay.
My dad, on the other hand, his ass was up waiting, wondering why I'm not home yet, and figured, I bet I know where they are, which made me think you and Mom have made out here.
Right. Yeah. You're right where you
How
were.
did you know?
Dirty,
That's it.
rotten. God,
We were
Dad.
just in the car next to you, Brian. We'd say hi.
Not Mom and Dad. That'd suck.
That would be
That
that's
suck.
a killer right there. No
Brian,
doubt.
the stork brought me in, okay?
That's another one that's just got shot down.
Now, how about you? Was there a makeout spot where you grew up, James?
Oh, good God, no, dude. I lived under a rock, dude. My parents never let me out. Being the oldest of my childhood, I was the babysitter. I was the teacher. I was the guy who did not have a life outside the house because of just the way our family and the way we were living and stuff like that. So no.
No,
And-
see, your makeup spot was you got married and where you live now?
right? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Got the first kiss from her. Was like, yep, you're my girl.
That's the one.
I was the oldest too, and boy, did I have a babysitter.
Oh, no, here's the stupid thing. I went to work for her that summer.
A teenage kid
So far from home. She was a lonely widowed woman.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was.
Too scared to make it on her own. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can finish the story.
Later,
I think.
off
Yeah,
the air.
no, I think
Off
we
the
know.
air. Yeah.
Speaking of kids,
It wasn't mine.
Oh,
it wasn't mine.
I have been forever trying to find the way to motivate my grandchildren to pick up their crap and make their beds. I mean, seriously, this is.
Oh man,
This
good
is
luck.
I know.
Good luck.
Absolute parental hell. You will make up the chore sheet.
Oh.
You will threaten to take things away.
You even
You'll
offer
do-
money. It don't nothing.
Okay, that hadn't worked before, the money thing.
Okay.
Until, all right, their Xbox, which James got going at one point, died again right away.
Oh, okay.
All right, it's just, I think it just ran its course. I don't think they turned it off for 5 years.
Right.
And it just,
I'm
so
sure. Yeah.
things only have a certain life. So they were shocked when they were thinking, well, we need a new Xbox. Okay, let's look that up and show you the price beside it.
Right.
All right? It ain't like it used to be, when you're looking at, at least $500, I think is pretty standard.
400 to 500, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got them an Atari.
No. No, I did
totally
break
would've.
out my old one. I do have that up for them to
And
see.
they still work.
But these guys they had money that they've been saving,
Okay.
but they didn't know for what.
Okay.
And I had them go down and they counted their money because they want this Xbox, and they had like $307
Wow.
that they've got saved up between the two of them. And what they're looking at, I think is close to 500 for it. So we had put up a chore list and said, look, if you make your beds each day, if I don't get a call from the school for anything except that you're doing great,
Right.
I said, and you just do the things you're supposed to. I'm not asking for extra. Just pick up, do the stuff that you're supposed to do, and we don't have to ask you to do it.
Right.
When you get $100 shy, I will kick in that last 100 and get
Yeah.
you to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they got up this morning so lit to get ready for
Really?
school, knowing how much that they could earn, how much they needed to earn.
Wow.
And this just has them lit up. Now,
Dude.
when the time comes that they need that last $100, of course, there'll be no Xboxes available, and I won't be able to get them
Right.
one.
There won't
But
be
it was
one
a
on the
neat
shelf.
idea.
Yeah.
But you could hear them downstairs, we got $300 and some dollars. We're almost to an Xbox. Or we could buy that Lego that we were
they're
looking at, so
debating
they're
it.
already starting it. I don't, no.
See, we used to do it for candy or beer. Now our kids are V-Bucks and Xbox.
Well, let me tell you,
happened?
if the kids would have said we'd do this for beer, it'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, they're a little different
sure,
than
there's
us.
the 10-year-old drinking problem you got to deal with. But, hey, I grew out of it.
Politics.
But that's
If you guys need some secrets, talk to my parents. We'd never have that treatment at all. If they wanted something done, you do it. Otherwise, hit the road, Jack.
Right.
You contribute in this household kind of mentality, if you will.
Yeah.
If the Xbox broke down, man, it's just, that's a shame. Wait till next year or something when we get the...
and I get that completely, and it should be.
Right.
But as a parent, we know that when you punish your kids, you're punishing yourself.
Yes.
Because when
Yes,
you
you
take
are.
away the Xbox, that means they're going to be on you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the pain, all the things that go with. You have to be strong. You know it's the right thing to do, and you know in the end it's going to send the right message. But I'm telling you, the difficulty as a parent of going, especially at my age, I'm going, look, I am too old for this shit. Just here's $150.
Right.
Go get
right.
the thing.
No, I get on Amazon because I know if it's going to give me 30 minutes in the closet with my wife.
That's
Listen, man, I feel you, man. I'm reading your mail, man.
No, it's like, well, we need to ground him. We need to make it so, okay, he has to stay upstairs and do everything right here, which means they're going to be with us constantly.
That's when I head to the computer,
That's
Amazon. Get that sucker ordered, man. I'm going into debt.
Again, these are not certified parenting tips.
No.
These are not.
They are not.
They are not endorsed.
It's
by
against policies, statutes, all that stuff.
There's
yeah.
many things.
Yeah, many things. Many things. Yeah.
Well,
Just 30 minutes.
not.
Just 30 minutes.
Wow, you're good. I need like 7.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
That includes the cigarette. That's. So I had not only a great weekend, just, hanging with the parents, my whole family and all these kind of things, but I also, how I get lit when I find a new album.
Oh, yeah.
That just lights me up.
Yep.
It happened to me this weekend.
Yeah?
Unexpected. Now, I love a lot of different kinds of music. I mean, and it depends on my mood, but there's sometimes just that old Motown soul.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Baby. Yeah, I know
with the horns
yeah.
mixed with the strings and
Oh,
just
yeah.
the great lyrics and the harmonies. And, you got that big,
Music.
full choir of brothers and sisters singing in the background with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Well, I found the best new Motown sound album that I have heard out of the most unexpected source.
Now, this is a new one?
Brand new album.
Okay, lay it on me.
Just
What you
came
got?
out this
What you got?
weekend. I never thought I would find the best new Motown album out of the lead singer of Kiss,
What?
Paul Stanley. The lead singer of one of my favorite bands of all
Well,
time.
yeah.
I've been a Kiss freak
Yeah,
forever. Star
yeah.
Child Paul Stanley has, at the age of 69, put out a new album called Paul Stanley's Soul Station. And it is him and just a host of incredible musicians
Really?
who went into the studio and remade a bunch of old Motown classic songs.
No way.
Plus wrote a
man.
couple of new ones that just fit into that vibe. And I was reading an interview with Paul who was talking about the difficulty of taking a sound like, the late 60s, early 70s, that Motown sound, and writing something new with that as the backdrop. And he said it was one of the coolest challenges, he's had in his musical career. But I'm telling you, Kiss fans, if would get it, because it's Paul Stanley. I want to hear what it sounds like. If you're expecting to hear anything that resembles Kiss,
You're not going to hear it.
You're not going to hear that in the least bit.
No way.
But if you're just interested in hearing a guy stretch his vocal pipes, dude is 69, and I know they do amazing things in the studio, and I'm sure there's some assistance in there.
Yeah.
But still, his voice is incredible, and this band backing him, it is I was dancing in the kitchen all weekend,
Dude,
to that kind of thing. So I'm just telling you, whether you're a Kiss fan or not, but if you just like some just good, feel good dancing around the kitchen, or if you got a half hour with your wife in the closet for an Amazon order, let it be Paul Stanley's Soul Station. I'm telling you, it's really, really good.
Right, dude. I'm gonna check that out. I like jams like that, especially some Motown. When I'm in my big old, I got a huge freestanding jacuzzi tub.
Oh yeah.
Getting the lights down low, get my tub right, man. Get in there with my boom box, my big old bass box I got, man. Crank it up and just get right. Just me, the jacuzzi tub, some soul, some Gorilla Glue. Bam, baby. It's on. It's on.
Just for the record, everybody, I just found out that the Gorilla Glue has two different meanings to it. And yes, it is one, the Gorilla Glue from the crazy video we all saw, and there is the cannabis kind.
Cannabis.
I did not know this, Scott.
You thought every time he was referencing Gorilla Glue,
I thought he was sniffing glue.
That's right.
I mean,
60% of the times he said that probably was.
Yeah.
Right.
But the other 40,
I just, I get it. I lived on the rock, guys.
you know what? Dude, but that's what's cool about this, man. Because homeboy don't know. I mean, and it's funny because we'll be shucking and jiving for weeks before he finally says, okay, I got to ask, what does that mean? But that's the same way when it comes to IT stuff. I'm like, James, I forgot how to turn this on. He's like, push the button.
Well, I hear a guy just go off talking about how much he enjoyed this 4-hour, incredible effects, these kind of things. And all I'm thinking of is, imagine that had you found Gorilla Glue.
Right.
That's what everybody keeps
Take
telling
you
me.
places,
Yeah.
man. Listen, Deadpool's a whole different level on Gorilla Glue.
I don't know. Dude. I think that Deadpool's pretty good sober too as well.
No, I'm with you on that. There's no doubt.
Yep.
I love that irreverent kind of humor. That's just, it cracks me up.
I do too, man. That dude is my brother.
To bring it to you though, he is a Disney princess now.
Huh?
Yeah, because Disney bought him.
Disney when I read that, I thought, boy,
What's Disney gonna do with
has
that?
really relaxed what
yes,
they
have.
consider putting under their umbrella. Because I would have never dreamed that. So you're going to go to Disneyland. You're going to be walking around, get your picture with Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Deadpool. That's
Ryan Reynolds for a while did embrace the whole Disney princess for the while. So,
I
mean,
bet
that was
he
one
did.
of those. Yes,
I bet he
God.
did. Absolutely. Yeah, get on Deadpool's wild ride next to Mr. Toads out there at Disneyland.
Instead of It's a Small World, it's the end of the world
That's
after all.
That ride trips me out.
What?
Man. Those little people in there doing the.
Man, that's my favoriteest, man. I could do that one over and over and over.
It was a must for me till
Yeah.
we got stuck in there. We got stuck in It's a Small World.
No way.
Yeah, we did. And those creatures look creepy after about 15 minutes of being stuck in Finland.
Well,
and you're looking.
Well, and you're stuck in Finland that long. Yeah.
Yeah, it starts to get okay. But my other favorite stuck at Disney story was
Here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
okay.
go.
Now my wife's gonna get mad at this, but I don't care.
I lay it on me. I want it all.
Yeah, I know you do.
want it all.
You'll love this one.
I'm sure I will.
So we're on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Right.
All right, and we did a big family trip. My parents were along.
Right.
My brother and his family were there, and me and my wife.
Yeah,
And the kids, and we're all on the ride. We're all there together, and Pirates of the Caribbean ride gets stuck. We're stuck. We're right underneath where there's a drunken pirate going, "Hey, kitty, 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 kitty. Hey, kitty, 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 kitty." And, we heard that over and over as we're stuck there. My parents are in front of me. My brother's up there, and me and Kyle are in the back. We're looking at each other going, we're stuck here, and you're looking pretty good.
No, you did not.
Yeah. So
we were spooning in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
We were making out back there doing
snap.
stuff. They did not have a T-shirt to say what happened on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride for me to get.
Did
when
they have
it came
the
out of
cameras
that,
up by then?
Not there. That's Splash
good.
Mountain.
Okay,
All right. There was none of that. And no,
it was Splash Mountain in the Caribbean.
But they're going, "Here, kitty, kitty," and I'm going, "Yeah." Yeah, that's it. So I did get just if I break out my Pirates of the Caribbean, I got the Johnny Depp looking, the bandana with the hair hanging down. If I put that on, it's theme
Dude,
night
if I
at
come
home.
over your house, I'm out.
See me break that out.
I'm
Yeah,
gone.
log ride stuck. We can't go any further.
Oh, log ride.
Oh, it is the happiest place on earth.
Yes, it
was that day. That was it.
That's funny because, man, in the Disneyland, that was my backyard for years. I mean, that was.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, we'd go there every weekend. It was like when you live, it's like living next to Walmart. You always go there. You just go there for one thing. You just go there for another thing. But when you don't have a Walmart. Man, when you go to Walmart, we're going to spend the day at the Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. That's so
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, well, then riddle me this then, Scott. How bad are the lines during those times then? Because this day and age, dude, I'm like, why am I paying this much money to stand in line for this long?
Right. Back in the day when I was little, man, there was no lines. Now, when we recently went down, well, not recently, it was a few years back. We went down, you paid the money for the fast pass.
We did that too.
Yeah.
There was like no way.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
No,
Yeah,
you
okay,
pay-
it's that much more. I
And
don't
I know
care.
it's a marketing thing.
Oh, yeah.
But still, when you got a line of 100 people and you walking up to the fast pass and there ain't nobody in the line, I mean, I felt horrible. I did, man. I felt I didn't feel right, man, because there's all these people that have been in this line that maybe they couldn't afford. I felt guilty, man. I did. I felt bad.
I get it, but
bad.
I got over it because, that's...
Second ride in, I'm like, just glasses are on, superstardom going down.
I feel sorry for those folks. That was it. No, but that's to me the way to go because
absolutely.
You go there regular and you're going to spend, we're going to spend our 8-hour day here. You might get on 3 or 4 rides.
Yeah.
Right.
Really, because when you're looking at 2.5 hour waits.
Oh, yeah.
To get through.
Well, and I can't stand the walk. Man, I never walked so you got to be cardio fit if you go to Disney, man. For real. There needs to be those electric conveyors like at DIA.
Yeah.
They need to have
moving
all
walkways.
over man. Yeah, I mean, dude, my back hurt.
But how they're supposed to trap you with that cinnamon smell and see all the gift shops going by and all the candy, and your kids are saying candy shop there, candy shop there, candy shop there.
No, even if I'm on one of them moving walkways, I'll jump the railing for a churro.
Right,
that's
Yeah, I know. The limousine dropped us off at the gate, man. We went through the gate, and I looked, and the castle was like 6 miles out to the castle and all these little stores. And I thought, where's the rides at? Man, I don't even see, there's nothing but 6 miles of stores to the castle.
Yeah.
And then you got to try to figure out where the rides was. I was like,
it's on the other side of the castle, another 6 miles.
Another 6 miles. Yeah, man.
My wife was so pissed. Last time we went, it was a few years back when we took all the grandkids, we took everybody out there, we go in to the gate. We've read every sign about, bringing this and this. We go to the gate and they frisk us and everything, and I got a freaking knife on me.
No way.
Oh, and that's what my wife said. She goes, "You did not see everything coming in here." And I'm a dude. I'm like, it's my
pocket
knife.
Yeah,
that's
I'm gonna clean my fingernails while you're in there shopping. And I'm out on the front bench.
So I donated a knife to Pluto.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
No kidding. They didn't give it back. They didn't give you a little card to get it back when you left or anything like that. A little receipt. Some of those places will have you fill out and they put it in a bag.
They probably did.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of the day, you pretty much I got more knives.
Well, and I would have donated every knife I got if I could have got away from, no matter where we were. It always happened. One of the kids go, "I got to pee."
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
We're in line.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you got to pee?
Just go on Splash Mountain. No one will know. Just go.
Yeah, I'm taking, next time I go, I'm taking one of them little rascals, them little hover around.
Oh,
things.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm going to act broke is broke, man.
That's not a bad idea. We decided the next time we go, it would be alone.
Yeah.
That would be
right. Well,
it's no place to take kids.
No, and if you're going alone, I highly recommend go ahead and bypass Disney, head down to Sanibel Island.
And that's it.
Man,
put your Mickey ears on there.
Put your Mickey ears on there at the tiki bar and get your sand in your crack, man. But bam, dude. Yeah, that's Disney,
with some
baby.
Gorilla Glue.
That's yeah. Well, I got my connections down there. So yeah.
Thanks for getting that in for the finish there,
absolutely.
James. Appreciate that. So it's good for
I'll
one
take
more.
you to Disney. I'll take you to Disney, baby.
That's what you said when I joined this crew.
Well, and you did.
It's been a little goofy.
I'll
tell you that much. But
and it's been a little Deadpool, too.
Yes, it has.
There's been some Deadpool.
It has. Well, hey, on a serious note, as we started this talking about, spring has sprung and all the critters, all the things that are going on in your backyard and starting to, we've been mentioning this at the end of each podcast, and we're going to keep doing it throughout this season. We have information for helping you with your home defense and just to get yourself educated to help you answer some questions you may have that you can actually find the answers out to right at CiscoMWE.com. So this has been Scott's dream, has been to put together this kind of tool and asset for just the everyday less than educated person like myself, who's a homeowner, who wants to take care of their family and their property and all the things that we've worked so hard to invest in, there's some answers and some simple things you can do to protect your area during this time of year especially.
That's right, man.
Yeah, and
That's
you'll
right.
find it all there. We've tapped into his brain and filtered out the stuff.
We're currently downloading.
Yeah, we are. There's still
It's
a lot
going to
of
be a long process.
it will be. It
Yes,
will
it
be.
will.
But once it all gets filtered out, you'll find it at CiscoMWE.com. So by all means, check that
That's
out.
right.
And thanks for checking out the Mike and the Mountain. We look forward to you visiting with you again later on in the week. As always, I'm Brian Gary.
Scott Cisco.
Take care. Thanks for being with us, man.
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, and eat your vitamins.
Eat your vitamins.
Drink milk.
Drink milk.
No vegetables.
Damn kids. Damn kids.
Yeah, the deep fried ones aren't bad. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Dipped in
steamed.
cheese.
Oh, yeah. And that also works really good. The leftovers, you seal them in a container. Works great for raccoon bait. They love steamed vegetables with cheese that have stunk inside that little plastic container for
Really?
days. Oh, yeah.
Well, raccoons will basically.
Well, they're opportunists.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they're opportunists. Kind of like myself. You got Gorilla Glue, you got Credible Hulk. Okay, whichever.
A little bit of Deadpool sprinkled on top.
A little bit of Deadpool. Hey, we need to come up with a new strain. Deadpool.
I'm sure there is.
There ain't. There's going to be.